I am a film nerd pushing 40. That's a fact. But what I didn't think was going to be a fact in 2022 was that I was going to see action-packed, multiversal, multi-dimensional, kick-ass movie with Short Round in it. Short Round grew up. When did that happen? My name's Kevin Halden. This is Nerdly Out Loud, the official channel of nerdly.co.uk, your favourite British home for all of your news, reviews, and exclusive interviews. And we are talking about everything, everywhere, all at once. Yes, this movie seems to be absolutely sweeping the nation. People are loving Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's giving them something a little bit different from all that Marvel shenanigans, Fast and the Furious bonkersness. We are getting a nice, complicated, time-travel-y, multiversal, punchy-kicky movie with Short Round. What more could you ask for? Short Round is in this movie. I was absolutely obsessed with this movie. Everything Everywhere All at Once. I did want to give it a couple of days because once I finished it, I was quite blown away and I didn't want to do a review based on recency bias. So I left it a few days, mulled it over. We're going to talk about it. And yeah, please do all those amazing, amazing things that help out the channel so much. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I think we're like 850 something, I don't know where we are, but we're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. It would be amazing to get there sooner rather than later. Please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and ding that notification bell. It all helps with the algorithm, helps people find us, see where we are. I got loads of reviews down there, loads of interviews down there from the Romford Film Festival. Thanks to those guys for getting me down there this year. We did so many interviews. It was awesome. Phil is on the Nerdly train doing all his reviews over on the website. Things are really cooking with gas and it's awesome. So please do tell everyone about this, but let's talk about Everything Everywhere All at Once. You've seen the videos, you've seen the reviews, you know how it goes. I'm going to talk about the plot of this movie as much as I can. It's a weird one. I'm going to talk about the cast and the crew of this movie. I am going to talk about what I did and what I didn't like about this movie, and then we will get into my Nerdly Out Loud rating. It's not the official rating of nerdly.co.uk, but it's pretty damn close. Everything Everywhere All at Once is centered around Evelyn Wang, played by Michelle Yeoh from back in the days, the Crouching Tiger movie and all that. We love a bit of Michelle Yeoh. She runs a laundromat and things are a little bit tight on cash and all that kind of thing. She has a daughter who is potentially a lesbian, but she's not allowed to tell her granddad because he is against that kind of thing, maybe, possibly, we don't know. And her husband is sort of like this mild-mannered guy. So they're going there to try and save it. But when they get in the lift and they're on the way up, the husband kind of changes, I guess, and becomes another version of himself. And I'm not saying he's schizophrenic. What I'm saying is he is literally another version of himself from another dimension. And lets Evelyn know that Evelyn is the key to everything. She's going to save the world. She's going to save all the multiverses. And that's a thing. All she has to do is either go left when she leaves the lift or go right when she leaves the lift. You know, the red or the blue pill. And it kind of becomes a bit Matrix-y in that sense. So she goes there, and that's pretty much where we are from there. It then becomes an insane adventure journey where she has got to try and traverse multiverses, use other versions of herself to help save the laundromat and the world. But mostly the laundromat. Yeah. I don't think I can say too much else. Although that's pretty much the movie. I'll not give you anything else. Let's just go into the cast and the crew. Starting with Michelle Yeoh, who I have been a huge fan of ever since Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. She keeps popping up everywhere. I love her as an actress. And this was a nice one for her to kind of flex a little bit more of her acting range for a change, which was cool. She's not doing so much of the action, don't get me wrong. She gets to do some of it, but she's not doing all of it. And it's really cool to see that. I was really happy with the character of Evelyn Wang. She played it really well. You kind of buy her as a little bit of a damsel, but also you know that she's going to come good at some point. Michelle Yeoh, fantastic. Ke Huy Quan, who we all know as Data from Goonies, Short Round from Indiana Jones. I didn't know this dude was still making movies. Apparently he's been out of the game for like 10 years. This is kind of like his first movie back. And boy howdy, as Waymond Wang, which is the best name in a movie ever, he is phenomenal. He's kicking badass, punchy, kicky moves. I thought he was exceptional in this film. Probably one of the highlights, not the highlight, but definitely a highlight of this movie. I thought, like, he just sold it for me. Kind of plays the put upon husband, the downtrodden husband, thinks that life's not really going the way he always hoped it would, and then he starts playing all these different versions of himself, and it's just so cool. It's so cool. Again, can't really say too much about him. So, Granddad Gong Gong, who is played by James Hong. Amazing to see James Hong still kicking it in movies. I mean, if you want to talk about actors from years gone by that you haven't seen for a while, this is the movie that is for you. Like, everyone in here is just great. And James Hong, seeing him again was just wonderful. Jamie Lee Curtis plays a really badass bitch version of herself. I kind of love Jamie Lee Curtis in this movie. A little bit unrecognizable, but you definitely know it's Jamie Lee Curtis, and she has a lot of fun in this film. But let me just talk about Stephanie Hsu for a second, because oh my Christ, as Joy Wang, the daughter of our main couple, she is incredible. From the moment she steps on the screen, she is just a movie star. The moment, like, I don't want to say too much about her character, because her character is very complex, and for me, when I talk about the shining light of a movie, she's the shining light of this movie. She's so good, sold everything for me, made me just completely invested in her character. I really, really adored this character, and I want to see her do more. Awkwafina was supposed to play this role. I'm really glad she didn't, because I'm not a massive fan of her as an actress, but Stephanie did an absolutely wonderful job here, and I can't imagine anyone else doing this role. I thought she was great. I've gushed about her enough. I will move on to the next segment, which is to talk about what I didn't like. And of course, apart from the fact that Deirdre's an absolute badass in this movie, I want to talk about the writer-directors. Dan Kwan and Daniel Scheinert. Totally butchered that. I'm very sorry if you're watching this. You're probably not. You may remember these guys from Swiss Army Man, which was a decent little film, not an amazing film. I did enjoy it, but it was decent, it was good. But these guys, so you can kind of see what I mean when I'm talking about, like, outlandish thoughts and outlandish ways that they're going to do things. Swiss Army Man was very outlandish, and Everything Everywhere All at Once is also very outlandish. But I want to say that they've done a great little job of keeping this cohesive. They have borrowed from other movies, other popular movies, and when you watch it, you will see there's quite a bit of Matrix kind of stuff in there, like all the 2000s Hong Kong, punchy kicky flying movies, Flying Daggers, Crouching Tiger. There's a lot of that in there. I think the action is beautifully shot. They do it really well, which is always great to see. But these two, as directors and writers, I'm big on them right now. I think they will be propelled, and they're going to be doing some awesome stuff going forward. But for now, we have this movie, and I think they've done great. That's one of the things that I really like. Again, I think they've cast everyone superbly. Jamie Lee Curtis, could it have been someone else? Yes, probably, but we got Jamie Lee Curtis, and who doesn't love a bit of Jamie Lee Curtis? So I do like the casting choices of this movie. Everybody plays it really well. Again, the action, the choreography, absolutely bang on. Now, one of the things that I didn't like, and again, I've just praised this movie for picking little bits from here and there, it leans on that a little bit too much. Although this movie feels super original, and kind of is super original, there's a lot of stuff in there that I'm kind of just sat there like, okay, this looks great, I'm enjoying it, it all works and gels cohesively, but I've seen that. I've seen this elsewhere, I've seen that elsewhere. You're just doing what they did, you're just doing a bit of that. And there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you make it cohesive, make it gel, make it work. And then I'm not going to think that I'm just watching you remake somebody else's movie. And I'm not saying that's what they're doing, I'm just saying there was a lot of things from other places that I was kind of like, okay, let's just do your thing. Let's see what you've got to say. It's a negative, it's also a positive. I'm okay with it, but it's just something I want to bring up. And with that, because I don't want to say too much about this movie, and I really do want people to check out, I'm going to move into my final rating of this movie. And what I will say is, you will have an absolutely fantastic time with this film. It's bonkers, it's nuts. I saw somebody write a review that basically said, don't do drugs, watch this movie instead. And yes, I wholeheartedly endorse that statement. I find this movie to be very, very good. The way that the interconnectivity works, sometimes it can fall apart. I do think that in places it's a little bit confusing. However, for the most part, it's connected and it works, and there's nothing wrong. You can't really pick too many holes. If you pull at a thread long enough, you will find a hole. Just leave it. It'll be fine. Just leave it. But yeah, I think everyone will enjoy this movie. I think the action is great. I think the interdimensional interconnectivity and all that is great. Personally, I'm going to sit on a 4 for this movie. This movie gets a 4 out of 5 for me. When I finished it, I genuinely thought I had just seen the best movie I had seen this year. And then a couple of days later, after having thought about it, I'm sitting there and I'm kind of like, but this and this, like I say, you pick holes long enough. If you pull at the thread long enough, you're going to find holes and you're going to pick faults. I think this movie's a very good movie. It just, upon reflection and taking away all the recency bias and all that kind of thing, it's still a great movie that I want everybody to watch. But for me, it lands on a 4 out of 5. I've seen this done a little bit better, a little bit more original, and this was just kind of picking the best parts with a nice little thread. But where this movie does live and die is in the family dynamic. The mother, the father, both exceptionally good in this film, but the daughter just smashes every scene she's in. And some of her scenes are the most bonkers, but she smashes every scene, makes it believable, made me fall in love with her. So yeah, I'm going to give it 4 out of 5, but I would give her performance in particular a 5 out of 5. But no, the movie gets 4 out of 5. That is the nerdly rating. And I am going to go now. Please do check out this movie. If you do check out this movie, let me know what you thought about this movie. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below, and I will try and answer you. Please do hit that like, hit that subscribe, and ding that notification bell. It all helps with the algorithm. Let people know where we are, who we are, what we do. My name is Kevin Halden. This has been Nerdly Out Loud, the official channel of nerdly.co.uk, your favourite British home full of news, reviews, and exclusive interviews. We like to cover everything from the big budget to the low budget to the no budget. I'll be back soon with another one, and I'll see you then.